What's up, Wes Porter here with Surviving the Gig. It's a little video blog that I'll be doing covering different topics of related to being a working drummer, tips and tricks, questions that I've been asked over the years of how I do certain things or why I do certain things. So let's get started. Alright, so the first step to surviving any gig obviously is knowing the material. So I'm going to kind of show how I go about learning material for a gig. So for example, I recently started playing with this country artist from Central Ohio named Jacob Lonis. Check him out on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. So when I did that, I charted a lot of his songs. So I'm going to show you the chart that I used and how I went about charting it. Okay, so first thing is I go and I find his music. So for example, song off his last EP, Back Road Redemption. Alright, so first thing I'll do is figure out the tempo. So I have my handy dandy little Tama rhythm watch, which has a tap tempo button. And I'll play the song and I'll tap the tempo in there to figure out what tempo it is. Alright, so it's right about 70 beats per minute. And so I'll take note of that somewhere either on my set list or on the chart itself. Then I go to the chart. As you can see here, this is the chart that I wrote for Back Road Redemption. And you can see it was written very quickly. My handwriting is extremely sloppy, and I had to like scribble out some stuff, and that's what I usually do. Usually I'll write the chart as I'm listening to it. Now, that being said, it's a really good idea, if you haven't already, to learn basic notation, how to read and write basic notation, rhythmic notation that is. Obviously, if we can learn to read notes and chords and stuff like that, that's great, but mainly as drummers, we need to know rhythm. So if you can learn just basic quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, triplets, sextuplets, how to read them and write them, that'll benefit you greatly. In this song, the tune starts off with a drum riff that's kind of important to the overall intro to the song. So I felt it necessary to learn that as note for note as possible. So I wrote it out note for note as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of the song, and we'll play a little follow Wes's finger along the chart and for just the intro and the verse, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Couple bars of rest. 1, 2, 3, and ba 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 ba. There's quarter notes on the bass drum. Stop on 3. 2 4-bar. Chorus. And notice the slash marks. I didn't write everything out note for note. One of the convenient things about being a drummer is that you don't necessarily have to learn every single thing in the song note for note. Just the main parts like I did up here. Also notice that I separated the chart into different sections. This is the intro, verse, chorus, interlude, verse, chorus, interlude, bridge, lead, chorus breakdown, outro. each one is in a box. I kind of borrowed that from the standard Nashville number system way of charting songs, but that makes it really easy for me to see each section of the song as I'm going and keep track of where I am. Also, bear in mind that I don't typically use this chart on the gig itself. I try to internalize everything mentally before I ever have to perform the song because I don't want to have to be looking at a chart. There are some exceptions to that. There have been times where I've been called last minute for a gig, like literally had to play the next day and never even heard the material before, so it was, I pretty much had to use a chart on stage then because I just didn't have time to internalize everything. But I hope this was somewhat informative for you, as far as how I learn material for gigs, and hopefully you can take something from that. Until next time, this was Surviving the Gig. Peace out.